Hello and welcome to Virtual Open Mics Interviews.
Well, I never thought I would be at a loss for words. I always thought I would have something to say. But here I am, admitting how much this hurts, and dealing with the day you went away.
I'm Mark C. I'm your host today. We're live now. I stole one of the security cameras. And you know, if Mark gets out of that hole, shit. What are you looking at?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last guy that Mark C. played music with.
Welcome, boys and girls. We're gonna have a hell of a good time tonight.
Howdy, my name is Mark. I am from Pataskala, Ohio, originally from the Alpha Centauri network of stars. But yeah, I was asked to do an interview, and I'm going to enjoy this quite a bit. Thank you for having me. I am a guitarist and songwriter. I also play instruments from Alpha Centauri, which you wouldn't know. Also guitar, bass, drums, little tiny bit of keyboards, ukulele, and a little tiny bit of the other instruments. Okay, I'll shut up now and go on with the interview. I love you, but you pushed me away. I'm not the memory that you feel. I'm alive, I am real. Oh. I had an Aunt Gladys. Music was on both sides of my family. Aunt Gladys played guitar. One time I was in Kentucky, where my family is really from, and I had an aunt show up. Her name was Gladys. I was visiting Aunt Charlene. Gladys showed up and she said, "Hey Mark, come here a minute." And I came down off of a hill, walked over, and she said, opened her trunk and said, "Hey Mark, you like that guitar?" And I looked in the trunk, and there's an acoustic guitar. I knew nothing about guitars. She said, "You like that guitar?" And I said, "Well, yeah, it looks like a nice guitar." And she said, "Well, good, because it's yours." So Aunt Gladys got me started. I learned on that guitar, an old harmony guitar, and my two brothers also learned on that guitar. So Aunt Gladys, I wish you were still here, but it's your fault. And sometimes I can't find the words I need to say, and I can find another guitar if this one goes away. Who needs a Gibson anyway? Just I've been inspired by many performers. They're all over the book. My parents were hillbillies, so Hank Williams comes into play, as well as many other country artists. And then my sister, who was a bit older than me, she had a bunch of 45s, so I started listening to those and got into the early rock and roll stuff. I mean, come on, you know, Hank Williams, the Beatles, the Stones, the Monkees. I loved the Monkees. Many people inspired my musical journey. Moving on into later days, of course, we had the ELO and Supertramp and too many to mention. Yeah, but there you go.
Way back up in the woods, in a little old shack of his own. And everyone was afraid of him. They said he'd put a spell on them if they went back in the woods where the old man lived.
I would describe my music as a hodgepodge of different styles. Sometimes I stay in one style. Let's say a folk song or a country song or a rock song. But I like to do things like throw in jazz chords, mix things up, mix different styles. I get bored easy. So I'll try different styles because it's fun to do. There you go.
When your loss just seems too great to bear, and you're feeling like your heart will tear, I'll be waiting here to catch you when you fall. You're not the first one to feel this way. I know you feel.
Stage fright. We all get that sometimes. You feel like you're not prepared. The crowd in front of you freaks you out. I got to tell a quick story. I hope not to bore you. One time I went to an open stage years ago, and there were so many great artists, and I thought, wow, how do I compete? And I thought, well, Bob's playing this, and it really worked, and Jim's playing that, and it really worked. And then I thought, I can't really do that. So I just got up and did the best me for what that's worth. At that point, it was worth quite a bit because people responded to what I was doing. I didn't try to be anybody else. I just tried to be me, for better or worse, and it worked. So yeah, that's how I get rid of stage fright. I just try to be myself and have fun. If you make a mistake, it's okay. There was a great classical artist that said something about making a mistake is inconsequential, playing without passion is unforgivable. Something like that. I agree.
Oh, so far away. And if I could get the nerve to tell you, I would tell you just how much you shine. Yes, if I could get the words to tell you, I would tell you I wish you were mine.
Trying to talk about my strongest musical skill? That's a good question. I don't think much about that. I guess maybe my strongest musical skill is to allow myself to be myself. Okay, sometimes I'm gonna screw up. Sometimes I gotta just be me. That's my strongest skill. It's just being me. Anyone can do covers if they've got skills. Anyone can do covers that has skills. But being an artist, writing your own stuff, that's a bit difficult. So I would suggest maybe my strongest musical skill is just trying to be me, for better or worse.
And as I look at the sky above, I ask myself, where is love? Where is love?
been writing since I was a little kid. Some people picked up guitars because they wanted to, attract girls or something like that. I always wanted to write. And I started out green as hell and just tried to make things up. And it progressed from there. When I write music, it usually comes at the same time. Sometimes I have bits of music that I put aside, bits of words, that I put aside. Sometimes I have bits of guitar stuff that I put aside. And when the right mood hits me, things will come together, and I might use a bit of words I had elsewhere or a bit of music I had elsewhere. But usually they happen at the same time. The words and the chords and guitar crap will happen at the same time. That's just me. Don't worry about it if you're a writer. Do what works for you.
And life can be funny, life can be hard, life can be a bitch, but life can be good. And life is too short, they say. Life goes on anyway. If life was fair, you'd be here like you should.
I'm an old hillbilly at heart. I'm half Buckeye, half hillbilly. Let's call me a hill buck. I'm from Ohio. My favorite breakfast is probably biscuits and gravy, but I'm also partial to strips of hogs and chicken embryos. Being a musician that plays often and sometimes fails, don't we all? That being said, sometimes I simply eat crow.
When he went to sleep in his new room on the second floor, his window overlooking the porch, when everyone else was asleep, that's when he heard it. There was something scratching on the window screen. Charles was so afraid. He laid with his head under the blankets and didn't dare look out.
Oh, now, we all make mistakes when we play live. It's just common. It's going to happen. If it's a small mistake, especially since I'm a writer, if it's a small mistake, just keep playing through it and people probably won't even know. If they do know, that's actually a blessing. That means they've listened to your stuff. But I'm also partial to making laughs when I make mistakes. I might say something like, that wasn't so good now, was it? Have fun. Try not to overthink it. Do the best you can. That's all we can do.
When you were sick, I helped you get well. But with my health is failing me, I know your face I won't see. When I need help, you tell me, go to hell. No good deed goes unpunished. No good deed goes unpunished. If you don't believe it's true, you'll be singing this song too. No good deed goes unpunished.
Ooh, describe how I practice. I don't. I mean, seldom anyhow. I generally pick up a guitar and start messing with things and trying to come up with ideas to write. People who play covers primarily, they've got something to work on. I usually don't. What helps me the most is every Monday night at a place called Eldorado's in Columbus, Ohio on High Street. I play an open stage. that's a beautiful thing because it makes me keep my chops up and my voice up. Oh, I'm sorry, that was bad. I apologize. But a lot of my practicing, so to speak, comes from that open stage. It forces me to play. It forces me to sing. It keeps my physical chops up. And I also will throw in some originals there sometimes because it's fun to do and the band is very accommodating. I love the geezers. That's what we call ourselves because of obvious reasons. Okay, there you go.
But once when I was passing by, there was something that caught my eye, and there were crosses by the side of the road. There are crosses by the side of the road.
What do I do for a living? I would love to lie about this, but the truth is, I'm a male gigolo. No, I'm not. Actually, my day job is as a hospital worker. I am a certified medical assistant. That's the first time I had initials after my name, other than SOB. Okay, I'm sorry. But, you know, it's a good job. I get to work with people, and if you don't love people, don't be in the medical business. It's a good job. I would do music for a living, but I got used to eating.
Could turn out oh so differently. Sometimes I scare myself, thoughts that are happy. I want to tell someone, but who am I kidding? All I know is I know you would not understand. I know you would not understand. I know you would not understand.
So, if I had advice for other musicians, I would say make sure you're getting something out of it. If you make it a job, why would you do it? It's got to move you somehow. It's got to be big fun, or you got to write and it touches your heart. Something about it has to move you. If it doesn't move you, why are you doing it? So please, make sure that you are enjoying what you do. A little side note, if you're trying to learn covers, YouTube, you can learn anything on YouTube. And if you get on YouTube, look me up.
The first time I saw her, she was sitting in the shade, and I was too shy to say hello. I wished I could have told her the way that I felt, but I guess I thought it best she didn't know.
What I would really like people to get out of my music is if they can find something about my songs that touches them. I've written songs in the past where people think I'm writing about them. That's a compliment. Or they think I'm writing about a situation that pertains to them. The important thing is people should get something from the music, whether it's personal to them or whether it's just fun. So yeah, what I want people to get out of my music is whatever moves them. Maybe cheesy, but true.
Thank you for all giving me this space. And I know I don't deserve your ear, but I just want to thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening.
I'd like to thank Bill for having me tonight. It's been big fun. I've really enjoyed it. I want to thank everybody for listening, and please check out Mark C's music on Facebook and buy some CDs so I can have another beer. I love you all. Thank you much. Bye-bye.
Check down in the description for links and make sure you are subscribed to Virtual Open Mics to be alerted about new Virtual Open Mics events and interviews.